Chapter 3. Kimberly sits up with a creak and a crack, having fallen asleep on the hardwood floor the night before, battling both pains of starvation and ulceration. She instinctively blinks and yawns to force her brain to activate, but it stalls and remains in first gear. A thick fog clouds her vision, yet she knows it to be nothing more than a projection of internal thoughts, and the harrowing inklings within her brain have begun to seep into her perception of reality. "You are doing the right thing," she repeats to herself ad nauseum, knowing this to be the time when it all gets worse before it gets better. Anna has gone into hiding in the morose morning light, leaving her nest exposed to the elements and at risk of being damaged. The sun pokes through the window and shines brilliantly in the tangled web, still majestic even when appearing to be abandoned. It is a work of art in its chaotic construction, a tangled tapestry to the untrained eye, with hidden beauty beneath that takes a certain amount of practice to appreciate. Kim would like to bridge the parable to her own abode in life, but she relents to being only a mess no matter how deep one was to dig. All rough, no diamond. Her stomach roars angrily, forcing her to reach for the expired box of cereal atop the refrigerator, although she turns her head in a wave of nausea after smelling the cornflakes. A single tear rolls down her cheek, feeling the utmost frustration of powerlessness in the face of her own inadequacy. Why can't she be normal and eat human food? Why is she in so much agony from emaciation with plenty to eat all around her? Maybe if she is lucky, there might be a stray spider or two that she can capture before heading out for the day. Otherwise, it will have to be store-bought to eat today, and she hates pet store spiders. They are also ridiculously expensive. Have a good day, Anastasia, wherever you are hiding. Enjoy your rest, and I will see you this evening. Kim glances back at the web once more before departing, wishing for her only even sort of ally to know that she cares. She has been reduced to befriending her food before eating it. I love you, Kim. Have a good day at work. She shuts her eyes swiftly under a wave of unwanted déjà vu, and the sensation of fluttering in her chest hits her not unlike 100 spider legs crawling inside her throat. The memory of Alexander's voice harkens back to countless mornings, bidding her husband farewell and vice versa. Life has been unbearable enough since he died, but the continued visions she forces herself to revisit only turns an imagined hell into the real thing. Goodbye, Alexander. I pray that today is the day I allow myself to let you go. Kim opens the apartment door and hurries through before falling against it, fighting back tears. She has grown too frail to indulge in a full cry, and her abdomen already feels as if something is clawing it apart. If this isn't rock bottom, then she isn't sure she would survive the real thing should it ever come. Kim arrives at a nondescript building similar to the one she visited the night before for their Narcotics Anonymous meeting. Of the many recommendations Sheila gave her, eating addiction and trauma recovery was at the top of the list. Kim quickly conceded she would not find much help amongst traditional drug addicts, who are slaves to entirely different desires from her own. She still thanked Sheila profusely for giving her the time and walked away with her head held just the slightest bit higher. The nerves and discomfort resurface as the thought of sharing her darkest secret with a fresh crop of people begins to touch down again. She already conquered the fear once without incident, yet the thoughts and anxieties of what else can go wrong continue to argue against every rational thought. You can do this, Kim. You have to. She speaks aloud before entering the building, though knowing there are no guarantees. The only thing she can rely upon without question is her own neuroses. A dark and daunting hallway lies before her, resembling an abandoned old psychiatric ward and not inspiring much confidence in this new group from the get-go. A muffled voice can be heard from behind the last door, the only one with light lining the frame as the rest of the rooms remain dormant. Kim walks forward apprehensively and feels the bravado deflate with each step. "There is no hope for you. Run away!" Her brain screams as her progression slows to a tiptoe and the voices in the meeting crescendo. "I have to at least try," she whispers. "I will die very soon if I don't. And since when are you so sure you want to live?" "Shut up." Kim reaches the door and grasps the handle, silencing every bit of doubt and self-sabotage that has dictated her life since Alexander died. With a final deep breath, she breaks the seal and pushes through to the other side of hopeful salvation. The person at the podium stops speaking mid-sentence as everyone in the audience turns to stare at her gangly frame. Each of them is easily quadruple her size, and several scoff at her odd appearance. She freezes in position under the threat of their judgmental eyes, rightfully perturbed that their meeting has been disturbed. "It seems you've got the wrong place, hun," the speaker says. "You must be looking for Anorexics Anonymous, because this is for people who actually eat. And goddamn do we eat." A couple snickers and chortles follow the woman's poorly timed joke, along with a few groans of disapproval. "That's not very kind, Marcia. You should already know we don't discriminate by appearance here, and all are welcome." A thin man chastises from the side of the stage. I didn't know. I'm sorry." Kim bites her tongue after the final stammer and turns to run out, having not felt so embarrassed since facing the family in her present state. She is a pariah and should remain locked away with her spiders until death comes knocking in the near future. There is no use in socializing or mingling with others. She feels more kinship with arachnids than any living human. Wait, don't go!" The man shouts from the doorway as he sprints after her. "It's okay, really. I shouldn't have come. Please, just hold on a second." Kim pauses at the door, frozen under the weight of her own shame. Whether she is running from herself or from a few measly jokes isn't clear now, but it is certain she doesn't have time to waste chasing fantasies of recovery. "What do you want? I'm already embarrassed enough." "Allow me to apologize on behalf of Marcia, as she tends to speak her mind more than she should. But I wanted to tell you that there is another meeting after this one. It appears you are early." "Early? For which group?" The man smiles and allows a chuckle to escape him. "Well, Marcia isn't exactly wrong. The meeting you just entered is for those who use food as a coping mechanism to deal with trauma. What people used to call food addicts. After this one is a group for general eating disorders. I am assuming you meant to show up for that one." "I don't know. I was told to be here at 7. That's all." "Told by who? Sheila?" "Yes, from NA. How did you know?" "I love Sheila, but she makes this mistake often." He laughs. "My name is Robert, and I am the host of both meetings. I hope you feel comfortable enough to stay for the next one." "I am never comfortable. No, not here, not at home, not anywhere. So I should probably go. Not to be argumentative, but then why bother leaving?" Why not stay here and give us a chance if we are equally as uncomfortable as anywhere else? My passion is helping others, and I would love to hear your story. I can't go back in there. I can't be seen again. She stops as her bottom lip quivers. I have just begun leaving my apartment, and this is all too much to handle. And have those choices made you happy? Excuse me? I'm not judging you, but have your decisions so far worked in your favor or otherwise? Because usually when I have a young lady like yourself showing up in search of guidance, it tends to be the latter. That's what I do. I can't typically help people whose lives are working out well for them. Robert pauses and waits for an answer, although Kim's expression suggests flight more so than fight. I'll tell you what. Why don't you wait in one of the extra meeting rooms until everyone else here leaves? That way you can start fresh with your intended meeting and avoid the rest. Kim's quivering lower lip curls inward, and she bites at it as she closes her eyes. First off, thank you for calling me young. But no, you're right. Why bother running from discomfort if it follows me everywhere I go? I'm going back in there and addressing both meetings. Marcia can suck it if she doesn't like it. Robert guffaws. That's the spirit. Let's go get him. He offers Kim his hand in a showing of solidarity, demonstrating a sense of wisdom reminiscent of the late Alexander, though at least 10 years his senior at the time of death. She nods solemnly and takes it, allowing herself to uncoil from a ball of worry to step forward in a moment of triumph, just like the night before at Narcotics Anonymous. They walk down the dark hallway once more, where the meeting attendees must no doubt be enraged at being left for a newcomer who most likely doesn't even belong there. They saunter into the room once again as everyone turns to stare like last time. Kim ignores their taunting eyes and pushes toward the stage, stepping between Marcia and the podium to stand before the microphone alone. The lights feel brighter than she remembers from the first meeting, yet their faces disappear all the same. She's speaking to herself and presenting her story for one reason alone: self-preservation. Their mockery and castigation means nothing more than teasing on the elementary school blacktop, now that she stands triumphantly before them. Her sunken cheeks, angular limbs, and concave stomach all sit in stark contrast to the so-called eating addicts holding court. She has a valid eating addiction too, goddammit. Hello, my name is Kimberly, and I am addicted to eating spiders. In fact, that is all that I have eaten for over a year, and it is killing me.